This starts off with some nice imagery. It's only a brief scene showing people turning from their usual happy selves into grey, lifeless shells of themselves. But it was a fantastic bit of showing not telling regarding the villain and his abilities. He does soon explain to us what he's all about, during a meeting with the mayor of nowhere. He describes himself as the greatest unhappy scientist who ever lived, and demands $33.33 billion for him not to release his unhappy cannonballs project on the whole town. He gets laughed off as they claim the residents are already unhappy, as they just raise the taxes. Classic. After being unceremoniously kicked out, Dr. Zalost unleashes his many cannonballs on nowhere, leaving everyone aside from the mayor and his advisor too depressed to even move. After seeing the guy is for real, they decide to give in to his demands. Not sure how the local government of a smallish town had that much money. I assume the higher-ups of government got involved, but we never see them, and it seems like we should, over a matter this important. Not like it made much difference because Zalost refuses to turn everyone back to normal, as all the money he could dream of still hasn't made him happy. All he can do is sadly confide in his pet helper rat. He's an interesting character, this doctor. He does seem to be suffering from some genuine depression. And I know people seem to get worked up whenever this phrase is brought up, but in my opinion it's definitely true that money can't buy you true happiness. It can maybe buy you some form of happiness for a short period of time, even though it's certainly not a guarantee of even that. But true happiness in its purest form is self-sustaining. It's not reliant on any kind of physical possession or experience to keep it there. You could argue maybe like food and water, since you need that to live, but that's not real happiness, is it? That's just physical survival. Despite not being able to feel happy, the Doc is not a fully sympathetic character. He's a bit of a hypocrite, in fact. He is mad at the world for doing him wrong, calling everyone selfish. But at the same time, if he can't be happy, he wants to take it away from everyone else too. The if I can't have it, I will destroy it mindset, which obviously is not helpful or desirable. Overall, I would say he's a fairly realistic portrayal of the negative aspects of the human condition / experience. Meanwhile, as all this is going on, we cut away to the Bag farm, where Courage is helping Muriel with her happy plums. And Eustace gets impatient waiting for a newspaper, so he goes on an unsuccessful trip to get one. On his way back home, he's spotted by Dr. Zalost, who wants to make sure no one is left happy. Not like Eustace is happy anyway. In fact, he's completely immune to the spell. However, Muriel does get hit by it. Courage, despite being able to creatively dodge it, can't live with seeing what Muriel has become, not even being able to bring herself to eat food. So he courageously decides to go to Zalost's tower to try and fix things himself. After outwitting the rat at first to gain entry in a pizza box, the rat soon grows giant muscles and attacks him after being accidentally hit by one of the cannonballs. As well as being a funny scene visually, this is also a decent metaphor. Someone who is already unhappy, when they're hit with even more challenges, can often get overwhelmed. That's when it's more likely to result in anger or even aggression. Courage manages to get away after the rat is hit by one of Muriel's happy plums, in quite a nice callback to earlier, changing him into a harmless baby rat, wearing a diaper. However, Dr. Zalost is wise to him and ties him up, even teasing Courage with a game of hangman, as the timer ticks down on the cannon's fuse, again showing us that there definitely is a sadistic side to this guy. The fiasco is eventually brought to an end when he tries to toss Courage into the unhappy liquid for good. However, the cup of happy plums ends up falling into the mixture, changing it completely. Instead of the green balls of sadness, it now spits out the pink balls of happiness, which fly over the whole town, putting everyone back to normal. It also becomes unstable, causing the whole tower to crumble and eventually collapse. After fleeing the building back home to cure Muriel, Zalost follows Courage, holding his last unhappy cannonball before he can hit them with it. He instead tries some of the plums sitting on a table, and it has an instant effect. His skin is now normal colour, and he has a great big smile on his face. His depression has seemingly been cured, hopefully for good. The final scene is him hugging his rat. This, like the first season, is an incredible season finale, another one of the show's most beloved episodes. It has most of the classic courage elements, like a creepy story and interesting visuals, and even adds in some satire too, which is not that common for this show. Now, here is a brief overview and summary of the season. My top 5 episodes are there, including the one 4-rated episode which made its way in, and overall the average score at 3.72 slightly beats out Season 1, although they were much of a muchness, in my mind, in terms of quality. The main difference was this one was not quite as horror-based. It was a bit more action and adventure-based instead. Which is fine, this show can evidently do both well. It's just its roots are in the more creepy stuff. It's what this show is generally best known for. And it's not that this season didn't have a lot of that as well, because it did, just, not quite as much. Thanks as ever for supporting the old courage on the channel, guys. I will now take a short break, then get cracking with Season 3.